Right, everyone will be aquaba at the about sports arena so brasso. Say yetna nkunya so na fe yemfa gode mu nsem embra na bibia so no entumi enkoye shane so say from now to a year 2:30 ye be story free nkunya so ene a Wednesday the year of announce the day of our Lord ye be hwe ni mu say ye de agode mu nsem da bia me kasa amu ye the principal actors, especially the primary actors, the primary stakeholders for no, they get paid from a year agudi munsam. But then, yeah, supporters now, and I'm sumo munye scano, a year in Tiaeka. Tiano na my bet at the abase, nay, what would you grown it in also sunya sikakakra at the gubutum? Enti sikakakra now would be gubutum and don't go for debate. Papa, I'm telling you, and I went debate. Now yes, oh, fearful, and me fearful the mechipa, and under 5.5, 5.5 must goes in money. First place team, any third place team, boy. Extra time, additional time near the autosomy did 2,000. Additional time, no much 2 goals, and we made the same better. Intimate, sure, say, will be under be break, over near day. Into debate media Mendy, but I never saw because I never see debate, and you be described because I never matches or Muntie de make a chomono, and then Mr. Matches or Sheni Asman ne to be training. What was the kind of Modiama Nottingham Forest? Mr. and Asna to be true, not a Nottingham Forest war. Umfamaki baby, order me to music. I sure make a dear ceremony and say, and ne. So your 2 teams be on me near a Tottenham Hotspurs and a Nottingham Forest against Arsenal. Arsenal to be keeper because Nottingham Forest be show monfa mark baby 2 us we beat ma sanya ma bebre ti e be remu ye na won de ekone de eba na show no be sha DJ Kwaku Slim o Facebook DJ Kwaku Slim o Facebook ni aye nyan e ho mo bo mode ana mo join ana ma share join na share na ene unse ye be kan about Jose Mourinho nsensem no bosu support Jose Mourinho anya no yese Galatasaray for na nuomo Mike Christian Ababo nchen abe posted a picture with Jose Mourinho and Didier Drogba trying to demystify the point said Jose a racist. Galatasaray for akoka obi ayanka no ye wonkofo bi wo no ma na dofo doso se na tanfo omo ye bebre nkra ne chale omo tu de gu Galatasaray so a chese se Galatasaray for omo nu omo ho se omo de sa false allegation no e de to Jose Mourinho ye bewrem na ya hwe aftermath of accusing Jose Mourinho of being racist. The supporter what you mean and Mike Christian or terminal said the son about to the defense about be defending no ma bibia aheden ekoye e ho no ti be rasa ansem ni mu na wo hu de ekone de ba na GF4 de abase league no be returning in March. Yes, league no be returning in March. Mami remu Endra games ni say na tie Brighton and Overbeach bomb for almost so ano no Brighton for Atiamu. So na Aston Villa after almost Chelsea no. Crystal Palace a bomb and so 9. Honma Fulham Ekoche Wolves SN 2-1. So na Chelsea the Blues. Endra Pole and 9 na Christopher Nkuku eshe go na Kupama. Chances akwani nya obose na o hye ya kenuaka osa me de bremo no. Okay boy because teams na me ka say players na me ka say shot on target nya semenyo omu nyina obia boy. Obia yeden etumi boy omo ameko over 1.5 na da me ka say Leonardo ebe shego ampa o shego de ma Ireland 1.5 ameko ni nyina boy nanso Kupama ena entumi anhye Barcelona ene Atletico Madrid meko handicap a boy 4-4 ena etumi ekoya etumi say cracker pa return leg no next week because na bibia so no etumi den akoye nti we games Endra etumi tutodwa honom yes etumi say yes nti ama table no say na tie Liverpool 64 points, the first Arsenal 53, Nottingham Forest 47 and then Nottingham Forest be 50 te be 3 point per Arsenal you never be was no free second position ho. Chelsea and so I 46, Manchester City 44, Newcastle 44, and then Newcastle so match there and no betumi aye dem pa on Bournemouth so at Brighton no more aba omanima and Aston Villa back to factory settings and they almost a year 42 points or more that 10th position. Man United at a year 15th position and now man share is Swisser as was share betumi aba papa so share betumi aba honum nti eno ene de womu enso eno no na over ene matches na 5 games na be so English Premier League no Brentford and Everton, Man United and Ipswich, Nottingham Forest and Arsenal, Tottenham Hotspur and Man City, Liverpool and Newcastle. Emo to me higher than pa. Honum. Copa del Rey, Real Sociedad, Real Madrid. And also emo to me higher than papa. Honum ti way any and also matches and also ebekoso ewo selected we na kamehwe se Coupe de France no ha Brest any Dunkerque and ebebo and Stade Briching and PSG and ebebo ani ewo Coupe de France. Now oko DFB Pokal RB Leipzig and Wolfsburg and the Berry Daso ewo nti we any top level games are yede ba oko Dutch era division ni munzo PSV and Go Ahead Eagles and the bebo any wonom ti we any games and Braga and Benfica so match Braga and Benfica or match wo Taka di Portugal no Taka di Portugal no and also beko so wonom nti we any just games are and also ba so ye kan ama also watibi wonom Abuja for Andrew Chelsea it me win here. You games, you know. I think the results by NHS it was something on about Chelsea. Obviously, after fans protests, they've returned to winning ways, winning 4 without conceding. Obibeka says Southampton there, but we've seen Southampton against team like Manchester United. We've seen Southampton against Liverpool. Liverpool struggle here 3-2. And a Liverpool here, so you beat what is in front of you, and we share the confidence now I lack it with team anymore. This results are very important. Now Chelsea is back to the top 4. The other resources, so you can in now. But before then, you my better education, very important.
Okay, yeah. Nti listo ye chia hwefo na ene MYBET education de nkomo ebedi ni na ese MYBET for de omo time bia se ne ba ha bedi nkomo no omo mayen kwan se ntimi fisika kese e omo platform ne so nti obetima fisika de a MYBET.AFRICA pe na obetima fisika o nti register ya TMCC ana register ko browser na www.mybet.africa ubo wi a ubehu top right corner green icon bi o na click registration o click registration so a na afidi ebo phone number the audio mobile money transfer ni bibi abo phone number na eden ehemu ubo hemu wi a the next thing ebe bisa username ubo username na enu nso enye unique name bia obe eden opese o use MYBET platform into ubo wi a the next thing your password maninye 8 letters at least ma numbers mi enumbrem na capital letter ba kon so emblem se ne beti mama na unique ama uwie yombe send verification code na afidie registration na complete MYBET.AFRICA insi hwa ade ba ko mo de man ne se uko platform ne so a auto mo de ma on games especially the top 5 European leagues no and the top 5 European competitions e course no eso same betting platform bia into your selections no normal sand the aka bonus atai with aka bonus no unya options of boosting or aka bonus winnings no to up to 1500%. The highest betting platform be about 1000 but my bet for some of the 500 account one 1500% amount intife no na first opportunity we na for fiscal ene matches be brave wo MYBET.AFRICA na for fiscal partial ene your friend say we full cash out ne so ho say we bet ne cost so na matches ne bobo so no e cost na hwe na say enyama nkoyi na obeje cash out no aje cash out ni bi base match mu bi that's the partial no eja akwa copy match ni we na obeji full cash out option no na lose sika because my bet your maba self be fiscal e wo ho ti kwan bia so a dan be ko ni we ya nso benya kakra to bottom e na my bet for hwehwe
right it's my bet bobody join a Telegram account no yes sports arena sports arena arena our Telegram yes our Telegram na fi bibia entumi enkoye nyame adoma numre ye be first kapa abuja for yenko endra resource nim
yes listo I mean starting free Chelsea and Southampton game course so I think indra me di nkomo say a game bia Chelsea bo home ne last 6 to 7 home games were born or average at least 3.5 over 3.5 goals e wo ho ntindwa me catch ahwe force say wo kwa kwatwa sa bet na make sure say over 3.5 over 2.5 there utwa bit ma fiscal e wo ho because we average at least 4 goals in his last we have any saying home games our but either say or she 2-2 and 3-1 at least game name out 4 goals or more andra yetim I think it was an exciting game share the way at Chelsea lining up ni bibia everything went on well against a team like Southampton na Chelsea and say pressure be than ebebo so but it's a game corner one the estimate Southampton be one lucky omo de wide then apo menumandra I think players be Pedro Neto Nkunku with Enzo Fernandez it shows say yes they were having a good day with passes any distribution something here I think Indra Kaisedu wasn't that really solid mommy do say none defensive work no yeah and against a team like Southampton a lot of work free in her because unya the friend is saying Southampton for Emma more of we friends saying pressure to Chelsea as any defensive work no team here but I think it was a good game in general Kopama in the last 6 games ni ontimi she go ma assist here which has become something it's become so worrying for the Chelsea fans especially omunim say Southampton ni Leicester the other yan can say Kopama timi reviving him etimi a goal or assist but it's normal as a footballer and a baby no you would have these patches where things wouldn't go on well for you but nini na jina how you come back from this process after the game we post say he will be back say he's looking out for say in the next game against team friend Leicester and at least obetimi a goal or assist or and until say game na Enzo Maresca change most of the players to say Pedro Neto Nkunku Sancho, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez a free game no but Kopama will engine because no sure at least untimi a chance to beat him there she go but it wasn't his night and it's good to Chelsea team Ashe 4 goals even though say maybe Kopama and share but I think every Chelsea fan would have looked at say Kopama beat me then Ashe go Indra Levi Cole a boy man but I think in the first half now there were 1 or 2 things that he was doing I felt it wasn't right following player friend is Fernandez down to the middle of the pitch I was seeing say it was wrong against any big team no they will use that against you a bit me how but I think it was a good game Southampton sending our boss no Southampton this is the only game apart from Brighton game on boy I mean man she go in their last 5 games Ometimi she go in every game so meaning to Chelsea to make keep clean sheet and yes maybe against Southampton but they were able to hold them Ometimi and she go Crystal Palace and the Aston Villa game no was one game it was very surprising but Andrea me can say Crystal Palace at home the form against Aston Villa and Anwarding Unai Emery untimi share Crystal Palace at home free time about the Premier League and it's something twice but I think yesterday the big surprise was he dropping Rashford and Asensio in the game na ya de ba kwa me kra na mo me hu line up na mo 1 year because these are 2 players they came into the Chelsea game to save you Rashford by with 2 assists, Asensio with 2 goals to save you. So why go into a game against Crystal Palace? I want him say it's very important in your top 4 or in your European sport racer. You go into a game benching these 2 players. You are looking at maybe introducing them in the second half. Say one, but I think going into a game against Palace, the last 2 home games, no. Ultimate picky win here. Everton no. Brentford no. So this was a good time and Kesa wants to call picky win. We are about the second time in this game in this fixture Crystal Palace home and produce 5 goals. And I may also say the last time Aston Villa visited Palace, Crystal Palace session 5-0. In Tindrano, we saw another 5 goals coming in a bear 4-1, and in Siwa before the 5-0 no Crystal Palace sanction 3-1. Tindra make say this game is a game over 2.5 here likely say bet me about because fixture mostly Eddie goes back, but Aston Villa on the other hand no Unai Emery eso timi hwe especially in away form ye, because some person will qualify for the European spot in a good position in the league logger away from a county. You are doing well at home but away no in the last 4 away games wabo just a draw against Arsenal okobo 2-2 oko Champions League lose to Monaco, lose to Wolves home away 2-0 and I say to Crystal Palace. So Osha one thing going into the league phase, the bit me hand. Those and next game FA Cup game against team my friend Cardiff home. But after that, there's a Champions League game I will quite away. It is away from the to so say one year lucky at the Champions League game against Club Brugge away no. No akwa kolusu amana away for the Champions League mo. The next game Brighton and Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth and so on the other hand in some bad patch going into this season, losing against Wolves and now also losing against Brighton in drawing here. Apart from that, so Osha mostly now away games utimi ebon home day or share Southampton 3-1 or share Everton and now the famous victory against Newcastle 4-1. So no obi say going into this game obet make keep the away form, but this fixture be mostly say Brighton able home utimi against team a friend Southampton. Into the last time we share and Brighton share 3-1 into social head to head now going into this game na bibia say Brighton were upper hand against team a friend Southampton, but Brighton and so my right you off because after losing 7-0 to Nottingham Forest Oma RPM game this season Brighton are back to back against team a friend Bournemouth, and it's something that is bad for team a friend Bournemouth. At least no more but so they are looking at chasing their first ever European competition, say a Conference League or Europa or a Champions League. That is what they are looking at doing, but they need Brighton it's equal on the same point with them. Now 43 against Newcastle or 44 game and then so this is something I think Bournemouth also though said they are one club but they are facing a lot of injuries, but they perform too well, and I think the coach in also not to nyama ba be going forward. Those say games going forward now in the first half they struggle a bit, especially in the second half but it's something if you are playing against any big team, any team in the league, the Premier League comes with a lot of goals. So in the first half me keep a clean sheet and not conceding, and in the second half you can show how great you are, because say a league team with changes in the second half ultimate games Brighton air number 1, after them the next team Nottingham Forest. So that is something that they need to look at least in the first half, try and maintain that composure and make sure say lose games in the first half. The last game I bet touch on that is in the EPL Fulham new Wolves. I think it was one game we all knew say those Wolves me picking a 1-0 win against Bournemouth, but still Wolves actually say this season goes your share, but to be keeping that clean sheet and night me winning game ya de back and in the first minute of the game Ryan says the last time Moshe go was back in 2023 it's me go ababe ya de back boano those say they came to equalize, but Muniz go or share against team a friend Wolves, and I think this season say a core at the end of the season it will be one of the goals it will be highlighted as the goal of the season. Stat wise Fulham able be just to get the win, but omutimi win here. But Wolves, one thing I've been impressed by Pereira coming to Wolves is they are playing a lot of balls, making sure they are getting a lot of shot on goals, a lot of corners. Any other back who are airborne, you say Cunha have been able to score a lot of goals from corners, and they are doing well. That is one thing, but defensively, and a problem. Those and now play a bit Timu so defensively they are not that solid. But going forward, I think now they need to now prepare for the championship, because they are just above Ipswich. Ipswich, Leicester, Southampton. These are teams that they came from the championship, so they would go back into now. If they need to avoid this, they need to now start picking points. And let's say Ipswich it's me picking a point against Man United, meaning say they are just a point behind team a friend Wolves so that is one thing that they need to look at. The last game I mentioned the Copa del Rey game between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. I think it was an exciting game. In the first 6 minutes, Atletico going 2 goals up, no being himself to be a massacre. against a team I friend Barcelona, but Barcelona in the first half shown say yes game when me di un come say anytime there are two teams in Beshiano in the first half from minute 1 to minute 25 Barcelona should go until Barcelona scored 2 goals before minute 25 and I mesanka say from minute 75 a copy minute 90 no mostly Atletico game be either so or share and as a share no and Lewandowski share go in the minute 74 into be OTA on first half 0.5 second half 0.5 no omutimi face cow. I think it was a good game. Barcelona after going 2 goals up no 2 goals down no and affect you they came from minute 19 to minute 41 it me share 3 goals. I think I was really surprised about a Simeone side going 2 goals up and conceding 3 goals before halftime. I think it being see that in Drans me boss who I said the last time Atletico lose to a high margin to Barcelona was a 4-2 inti the time Lewandowski be share goal and I was looking at it said then it will happen again. I think some good changes as Simeone here why it's me Mombenya 4-4 now in the second leg coming up will be something that will be very important, especially at we Atletico home no it will be a very solid game. I think Atletico be upper hand over team friend Barcelona in the second legs Atletico qualifier maybe we can see an Atletico maybe a Real Madrid or Atletico Real Sociedad final. I think it will still be an exciting final. I beat me ashe.
All right.
Yeah, Listo. I think that another games was exciting games. A lot of teams are not expected to win, and finally they got the win. Especially Chelsea going, some series of games without a win was something that had. In fact, just another clean sheet. Was the first clean sheet at Chelsea and at Stamford Bridge since 2023. It's very bad. As a club like Chelsea, they went on beating on 68 games at Stamford Bridge, and at least getting a 4-0 victory over Southampton. In fact, Chelsea against Southampton, game whenever Chelsea are playing Southampton, they are one of the sides Chelsea at Taisha Muyepa and you are checking Southampton and Chelsea previous games since 2023 Southampton coached Chelsea one on Chelsea last 2 games in they are Chelsea. And so yesterday I think that some of the players had one of their best games.
Like the stars again. Also the last
time last 2 games between Chelsea and Southampton in Chelsea since 2023 Southampton share Chelsea no last games in Chelsea
okay.
And Fisher be whenever Chelsea are playing against Southampton, if Chelsea is winning most at times they win by a huge margin. So we see Enzo Fernandez creating 6 big chances. That is the that's the big chances will be a creating Chelsea in over 10 years. And it's quite unfortunate. They play someone like Christopher Nkunku, someone like Kupama, any Pedro Netomo, and Timian converted those chances. But when Noah Bon was one of the best games at Enzo Fernandez boy. And Madi Kanka said the fullback, inverted role na Chelsea, but there's no other player in the Chelsea setup Obo Ebony Esin Abrantandi Eddie Mark Kukurea. He offer a lot of things on the field. And Medicanka said when Kukurea is inverting, either say Obo as that the double number 10 and as Obo as a double number 8, he offers a lot with the energy and then he runs in between the box in the area. About Chelsea, and to check here, most games are ye pushy Abrantandi Eddie Kukurea. Ako any more. He always finds the net. He was shot 3 goals in the Premier League. This is more than a series of attacking players. Moboma and the big 6 clubs. So I think that yesterday, everything went on perfectly well. And Obekaya, if Philip Jorgens in Nyaboa, that's it on person boys, man, that's Southampton funny press. The Chelsea supporters were shouting, "Hey, boss him!" And after the game, despite the fact that only few occasions and Philip Jorgens able to see because the coach told him coaching question said before they go catch Jorgens and say Obobo Nisima omo press ni gidigidi na say o who player be available no team no Obobo Nisim Duma yedu bona obey na free and he applies so akwakoye obvious whether we a goalkeeper you have to make sure that whenever we are starting the ball Obobo Nisima ever ball number and you see No, I mean he kept a clean sheet. I mean it's a boost for him. Looks likely that right now he's the preferred number one for Chelsea. And if one game mistakes there's no way they are going to drop in. And I mean this clean sheet, it makes my boosted morale. Yesterday I think Abranton there, the Malo Gusto had a decent game. Tosin Adarabioyo, a good gamer with the height and in the strength. No, Otimi Ejina Abranton the Onocha. So Levi Cole, one of the best games so far this season in the Chelsea shirt. Abranton the Caicedo, obviously he's been one of the best players in terms of tackling, in terms of interception, in terms of playing the final passes into the attacking third. He's one of the best players in the league currently. And Kopama 6 games Unya Enshego and Unya assist here in the Premier League, but day in day out he keeps on creating chances. He keeps on hitting targets. Yesterday was quite unfortunate that he couldn't find the net. I might say yesterday he was quite unlucky when Timian finding the net, but you see the Pedro Neto role no yesterday was the first timer or share a goal as an assistant in the Premier League for no Pedro Neto. And you started game so Kaya the Belgium international Bella Kocha anytime biano the like the Pedro Neto because when Chelsea start here looks like Pedro Neto airborne, but when we are not without the ball, I can't say Pedro Neto echo wings and Bella Kocha in the first 20 to 30 minutes he had decent game against Pedro Neto, but yes still Pedro Neto in runs creating spaces for Enzo Fernandez, any Branton Eddie Christopher Nkukum Eboy. And I think that this season Pedro Neto, aside from the game against Wolves with that assist or Abranton there they Joao Felix and some series of games, this is one of the best games Pedro Neto abo under the Chelsea shirt this season. And I think that he's been playing well as an number 9. I remember over the weekend and I said no conversation many monument be proud to them catch and say I think that Pedro Neto 9 or bono he's playing the 9 perfectly well done. Christopher Nkuku and any other player or 9 I'm at Chelsea this season. Ni runs ni create spaces. Players like Kupama, any Enzo Fernandez. And Medican can say Enzo Fernandez is one of the players. If you try say more closer to the defense, more closer to the defense. You man that free role, bit me running as a more of a double number 8 or a double number 10. He could also find a lot of goals from when he was coming to Chelsea. So I think that yesterday.
So should we credit Maresca for inventing something new? Because Pedro Neto you could clearly see the winger Emma Utrimu say play him as a striker. If Chelsea attackers I think he is the last person about him. Even some of the Chelsea supporters were saying Noni Madueke or even Kopama should be right, even if says more Mkukwa, Noni Madueke, Kopama, they should be leading the lines. How impressive is Pedro Neto, and will you credit Enzo Maresca for doing this? Because it appears that it's working against Aston Villa. I think if he was able to do this against Brighton, and I'm sure say how an enemy blank and Kasana Kabeye. Against Aston Villa, we also it was basically say Chelsea take chances and our goalkeeper making mistake. Then and so it was perfect and ultimately go. Will you credit the coach for doing this?
Oh yes, Listo. Of course, I think that if it happens like this, you have to credit the coach. And if Kanyama Ankoya, definitely and Kaman for best coach and say Nkuku Bitsma Bona or the Pedro Neto. And I think that you see. With the system, Obekaya, before a Kwakobo Aston Villa game, reports by said Chelsea were going to play more like a 3-back system, or regions we bomb for then you more of crossings in the game. And so Kopama Abo as a false 9 under Enzo Maresca during Manchester City Academy days. And Christopher Nkuku with how a Chelsea per se or Bono with how coach the Bono who here Obia always speeder. Obetima pressy, Obia or you're quick, someone who has a quick fitter, Obetima are running in behind. So now here Chelsea set up now. The only player who is quick, who is good at Obetima saying was no other player like Christopher Nkunku, Pedro Neto. So the game boy I mean who said Pedro Neto at some point at Chelsea lead the attack no moment as number 9. Then whenever Chelsea defend and as we are in the transition period or no moment drop back wings, then Kopama will be the lone guy there. And he presses well because of the speed. No, whenever I mean with the speed and then how fast he is, you know, it mean boy Emadaro is it, you know. Obekaya, Medika said, Kopama since Nicholas Jackson April, he hasn't had one of his best games for Chelsea, and that is the reason why people have been saying that they are the best duo in the Chelsea attack because. Jackson rounds, Jackson pressing, and this animal in an equity space. Emma Obiti say Kopama, and you see, whenever he's playing with Magui and now with Christopher Nkunku as an amateur, that space name, but because Christopher Nkunku, and after the game, Marius Kaka said Nkunku is an attacking player, he's not a winger and he's not a number 9, so but I mean, they have to find a balance for the team. So what you say, and that is the reason why. And so Nkunku wings no bona he didn't play as because Obiti Sancho making more runs, making more crosses than Abranta and Christopher Nkunku. The formation at Chelsea born playing Pedro Neto that free role. He's a player Obiti running in behind the players in the maybe Okobiana Bella Kocha because they won the Aston Villa game and they knew that if a moment in that space is now, and yes, he still find ways and means that Otimisha go see that ball no share, you know, and the sister or Sansu make with a free kick. So I think that yesterday Abasubodi and the credit that should go to the coach because at least if for years formation we and the backfire, he's still the main man. But medical as a coaches need sometimes some of the credit they deserve, you don't get it. But when Nema backfire, you see most of the backlash, most of the insults going against the coach. So yesterday they list with the credits about how yet integrity Obiti said Pedro Neto to suit that number 9 role to how a Chelsea episode yen attack or born in press. No, it's something that I think that the credit should go to the coach. And I know that if Nicholas Jackson there will still be more ways integrating all these players into how a Chelsea person. So the credit is obviously I'll say Enzo Maresca, and we are hoping that the subsequent games, he will still find ways and means integrating the players to some of the positions bit me about information person against any team. Okay.
The other games now.
Yes. The Barcelona game, I think that it was quite unfortunate that Barca called down so early in the game, and I think that we check Barca games so far this season. The team so because Barca called down to Obabe lead by 4 goals, and later on Atletico Madrid coming back and game this Copa del Rey fashion will be one of the historic ones recent years, because best starting game Atletico Madrid to quit the lead over 10 minutes and Barca ever be taken. The game was nearly over until Alexander Solot the last minute goal. Atletico Madrid. It makes the game, the second leg on Melbourne, more even difficult and more intense. As in say, game I will campaign in 4-4, so that the Stadio Wanda Metropolitano, Barca going there near the Madika said this is check it. Last go Atletico share. Now someone will ask, where was the Barcelona defenders? Barca, the game against a German, we say German coaches or more that changing pressing, and whenever they are playing, they don't even care say or more opponents they try as much as possible say they will attack you in full force. And whenever they also get any mistakes, we are now here any mistakes they will just punish you at that side. So I think that yesterday Barca believed, to that diameter of the game, they could have slowed the game. They could have, defended so well, commitment taking that 4-2 or 4-3 lead into the second leg. But attacking whilst you know that game now do, and let's come out with this is many can catch or say they are one of the sides. They defend very well, or more a balanced squad in terms of defending. Yin Diego Simeone, so Caso be defender. Upa Paredi, Messi, Ronaldo, and even Mbappe in one team, they will find ways and means to make defender or more and concede more goals. So in that game, no more. But right now this season, articles in terms of Julian Alvarez, Alexander Solot, and Antoine Griezmann are making one of the best attacks in the La Liga or in Europe this season. So I mean, playing a high line, playing Kubasi, Martinez, against these strikers, any other given day, or attack you too much, or ball high line too much, they will find ways and means that make my break your line was something that at least I think that the in-game management, especially at the MS of the game, they didn't Hansi Flick and the coaching staff because going down 2-0, who said no, this is a team they are attack very strong, they can punish you at any given time, or high line now, gamer Atletico Madrid can punish you any moment in time, but yet who prove we say who now watch more goals in the La Liga this season. We are one of the teams and they have the best attacks in Europe top 5 leagues. You came back from a 2-0 down, ability to 4-2 nanka ubabe kili game. So at least do these times playing against teams like Atletico Madrid with how they are playing this season, you have to manage your game well. Game management, they at least to a ball game here. So watch Liverpool this season. Whenever they are 2 up, how they play and how they attack different, because the moment obey sao gingin pressing, you go all out and my space is ever them. And this is a team only start under 20 minutes. No, I shall answer under 10 minutes. No, I show 2 goals. Should speaks volume that I think that Hansi Flick led the team led down, especially MS of the game. The game management was very poor and it didn't help team and Barcelona. So I mean, kudos to team and the Atletico Madrid. I mean, after scoring 2-0, coming down 4-2, and also almost another comeback, and it was something more in that game. So I mean, kudos to Atletico Madrid team for getting that 4-4 done. The second leg will be so much crucial that Atletico Madrid might even get the nod, because the Copa del Rey right now, Madrid, Barcelona, and Atletico Madrid, one way or the other, 2 of them will miss the La Liga, and if you are missing the La Liga, winning the Copa del Rey to mean so much to this team. So in as much as they are fighting for the La Liga, so at least they could find some fortune and access. Have a good one in the Copa del Rey. Atletico Madrid and me and this La Liga, not Copa del Rey. I mean, it's not a bad season for them for how they played, with playing so much well this season. Now because trophies, at least either the Copa del Rey or either the La Liga or the UEFA Champions League this season. So how mobile games in there? Solid, but in terms of teams with Atletico Madrid and Barcelona and the history of the Copa del Rey, Estadio Wanda Metropolitano will be, a big second leg. The attention and the results they be from will speak volume. But then I think that it's going to be a go affair in the second leg. But yesterday, both coaches are there, but I think that the game management Hansi Flick and me and produce the players at least they should maintain the game, hold on to the game, hold on to that 4-2 lead and a custom. So I think that kudos to Diego Simeone from not backing down 4-2 down, Ebabe winning game at the last minute, Alexander Solot. So yesterday I think that both teams needed the 8-goal trailer in the Copa del Rey was a delight to watch. But Hansi Flick sometimes letting it in there, because he considered goals against Benfica.
Now why are you looking at Hansi Flick but not Diego Simeone?
No,
Diego Simeone.
My boy Diego Simeone. And I'm saying that looking at Diego Simeone, who say defensively good sound. And to go for 4 goals against Atletico Madrid this season very hard. And somebody can say the game trailing 8-goal. I mean both coaches Obiaya in terms of, because Hansi Flick too was 2 goals down and Obabe share 4 goals. Credit to him, credit to Diego Simeone
as a coach in Anna as also because you need to walk away, right? So in this case, people were asking, say, 2 teams won a bottle ahead the game. Well, right? Because you see, you have home advantage. Then you visit a team like Barcelona or struggle to beat. What to me, 2 goals. Now 2 goals. Now the first half now you have to take 2 goals. Now so Tibasa went into the break leading. What I said. Then Barca for able lead almost share by ground and almost still now instead of say close game no and they were still open up and about Atletico Madrid now. So in this case almost two teams one battle
I mean in terms of bottling the game, I mean especially the timer we check the time difference I would lead the game now is I mean it speaks a lot of volume in the game despite the fact that Atletico Madrid shared 2 goals. This is a Barcelona side that this season they have almost goals than all the La Liga teams, so it's definitely a wash Barca 2 grand. I mean it was obvious that still Barca was going to equalize or they were going to score despite the fact that they were 2 goals down early in the game. So we check the number of minutes Atletico Madrid I mean almost 2 goals now. It was too early first under 1 minute and Julian Alvarez share and the second goal ever for Antoine Griezmann in 6 minutes. So there were a lot of minutes remaining. So in the 19th minute Pedri Beche, in the 21st minute Kubas Beche, in the 41st minute Brandon Martinez. So at the first half Barca a perfect comeback only by 3 goals and some Mabeba second half. When they came into the second half, Lewandowski at the 74th minute ade back home, and 10 minutes after Barca shot almost 4th goal Llorente be. So game na point 90 plus 3. That was when Alexander Solot shared the 4th goal for Atletico Madrid. So in terms of Atletico Madrid going 2 goals ahead in 7 minutes. Now Barcelona say cutting 9 I mean the first half it speaks volume say Atletico Madrid lead in early in the first half. But for Barcelona to come 4 goals in the second half as late as 84th minute. Now Alexander Solot at the die embers of the game 90 plus 3 minutes. Listo the last minute the end the bear despite the fact that Atletico the lead in the first half, and Barca say attacking was they are the best team in Spain this season. So Barca coming up 4-0 4-3 wasn't the news, but Atletico Madrid honestly I mean the best defensive side honestly now Barca be so I think that Nina beba into the game management. Simeone to how or integrity or this solot yi Griezmann frame and your Korea mo Molina Mina Bemun Ebesa game no ebo mo at least they defended very well as so aim to me Ebeshego. So I mean to me listo I think that Upebi Obotu or the best bottler in that game Barcelona Omina Botu lead especially for Atletico Madrid 2 goals in the 7 minutes. While I bet on I bet 4-2 and for I bet that perfect comeback was something that I mean it was incredible. In fact they were the first team to score 2 goals and the last team to score 2 goals in that game. So a more comeback so much I mean good say better take 90 plus 3 listo last stoppage time send bibia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I'm sure in the games I'm more boy in the games so now yenko in the games Bradford and Everton, Manchester United is switch. Nottingham Forest and Arsenal. Now Nottingham Forest have opportunity to cut the lead. Arsenal lead with 6 points, so they have the opportunity to cut it to 3. And Tottenham was personally Man City is fighting for the top top 4, right? So if they win they will push Chelsea to 5th. If they draw, Chelsea will still maintain a year. So now the only thing Abema Oma movie above Chelsea to win. Then Newcastle so boy net almost so call Liverpool home. If they win, they will push Chelsea out of. So though Chelsea will top 4 anymore, at the end of the day, it is possible that Chelsea will have a 6th position. Yeah.
Yes, intimate starting free Arsenal any Nottingham Forest game ever cost no. One thing is that this game on a normal day, first round you who this fixture Arsenal no be a dreams and Nottingham Forest be Arsenal but Arsenal to me we need 3-0. So we share Sadana 3-0 Arsenal winning no. Players no mo share goal ni bebre ma Arsenal no. And the game no mo ntimi mbo. You Arsenal struggling in their last 2 games. One omo winning 2-0 with Marino coming in the second half by 2 goals, and against West Ham ntimi anshe go. And I think this thing will keep on continue because they are missing that attacking side of their game. And him say at the start of the season, no, they were putting much effort home. Even to Humpa now with corner kicks, any set pieces goals, no. As a Arsenal, we're not dropping. One thing going into this fixture, I'm the match for is Arsenal. The last 9 away games were born. At least will concede 2 or more goals. So meaning say any more say Nottingham Forest can get a chance to score 2 goals against Arsenal. A very difficult fixture for the Arsenal team, especially coming out against Nippo Dawuchi, with just 6 points ahead of them. And any team in the fighting for the top 4 race, from Chelsea to Manchester City to Newcastle to Bournemouth, even Brighton, omuna bompa say the Nottingham Forest intimidation Arsenal. Why? Because a limited that points gap between Omoni and Arsenal. If you want to get into any part in the top 4, you need Omuna support say and the Nottingham Forest and pick that win. It will be a difficult game with Nottingham Forest previous games on my ball this season. Losing against Newcastle, I think it was a very poor game from Nottingham Forest, going a goal ahead and coming into the game 4-1 and Sana last minute on Babe. So it will be a big lesson going into this game. I think Nuno Bernard being say Arsenal defensively they are solid, but attacking wise they are no good. So we should also be solid defensively. Now for the counter attacks, what we can do with it. I think this game wouldn't bring much goals into so we call MYBET.AFRICA. Goals are mostly wouldn't see much goals. Maybe a 1.5 is likely to play. Nottingham Forest to score is likely to happen. Maybe this game might also end in a 0-0 depending on how solid Arteta Bernard is Sunday within the first half. So then let's take the game to a draw. So this game you be at least a 1.5, but seeing more goals, I'm not sure we'll see more goals like the 3-0 in the first league. No, the next game, Man United any Ipswich. Ruben Amorim befa Man United team. The first game of boy was against Ipswich. 1-1 draw, and people say okay, it was a good game for the Man United faithfuls. A game plan, a style. Back to Osansha Ipswich biome. Still, we haven't seen the Ruben Amorim who was sporting and how effective he was to his team or Man United setup. But Man United, anytime beyond Bebo in their last 19 games in all competitions, Man United ain't me leading in the first half. Against Ipswich, who are DSC in the first game, where we are friend is saying Hutchinson D can share go and Sana Man United Babete. So this has been a problem for Man United team going forward. But I think it will be a good game, especially playing at Old Trafford. The record there has been on and off. Man United winning back, no akolusu, no winning, no akolusu, no winning, no akolusu. So say this track record in the and Keneno. Meaning say United and Elusu, but I'm not seeing them losing. This is a game. I'm seeing a win-win, a draw. I'm not seeing a draw happening. It's either Ipswich are going to win or Man United are going to win. Likely 1.5 is going to happen because Ipswich play for any Delap, any Hutchinson, any Insensu. They are doing so well in the team and they can get a lot of goals and they can get a goal. So this game 1-1, 2-1. For each side can happen. Ipswich winning 2-1 or Man United winning 2-1 can happen. So 1.5 is likely to play over. Your friend is saying both team to win or win is also likely to play. So player shorter. Insensu has been one of the player. He averaged at least 6 shots per game. Into player shot on target and a player shot. You can pick him and also be a higher point or a higher odds. With Tottenham against Manchester City. This is one fixture I think we about the 3rd time I be this fixture. In all the 2 like you this season, Tottenham meet me as a team friend Manchester City. A 4-0 and a 2-1. And then I'm seeing 1.5 happening, but I'm seeing something different. One thing I'm seeing something different in this fixture is Tottenham. Now their team is solid. Okay, their last 3 games on my ball at home. Last 3 games on my ball, Emutu, they had their goalkeeper back, IFN Vicario, and Emutu, they kept clean sheet. And this fixture, they are banning say in the last 4 meetings at Tottenham home in this fixture, no, the team be winning, team ni winning, but go in time ball. Inti eneno it's high likely say maybe go into Mimbo in this game. Do say share these two teams attacking teams, they are all solid. I'll be actually say go beat me about, but the stats nature so this will be a fixture. It will be good for Tottenham. I think their defensive line, they're almost we're friends and 2/3 of them are back. It to be a good game defensively, they will be solid. We are all looking at saying Erling Haaland beat me lead the line for Manchester City. So on to me lead here, then we'll see a Mamouche up front. In 2 games, Mamouche has been up front for team friend Manchester City. They've just scored a goal, which came from a defensive midfielder, not from any of the attacking phase. In TNN, likely 1.5 beat me abo. The game can stretch to over 2.5 in beat me see. But with a win, so obi looking share for a team to win. I think a handicap for Tottenham will be very solid and a safer bet to go. Into a handicap of 2 for Tottenham, because the last 5 meetings at Manchester City are called Tottenham home. No, so Man City picky winner. It's just a 1-0 or 2-0 against team friend Tottenham. Man City ain't mean share more than 2 goals against Tottenham. So a handicap for Tottenham is an option. Obia bet me in this game. With Liverpool Newcastle, it will be a very difficult game, because one thing is a Newcastle are on good form. Liverpool so team league title ni mu yie ni na be gina the performance on better than any, because a
possibility say Nottingham Forest bet me ama
Arsenal watching. Yes,
I was so just now
watch na for the PBB gina na for the remaining games, because Champions League is so bad, and now for now do any back league, now do any back Champions League. So it will be a very difficult game for Liverpool. By name him at Anfield, the back Liverpool ball Anfield are mostly no performance near top notch. Liverpool ball Anfield at any time be bono. So we need by a 2-goal margin. In TNN, Liverpool to score 2 goals. The best option I make for. We both team to score, and so a likeliest option a bit me see. Liverpool win or draw. So I'll come and bet builder. Liverpool win or draw over 2.5. Liverpool to score 2 goals. Liverpool to win either halves. A bit my fast options we now to my fiscal MYBET.AFRICA. The last time these 2 teams shine, ending a 3-3 score line. So and then we are going to see a lot of goals. Liverpool anytime you are home against team a friend in Newcastle, or average at least 2 goals. Into yehu 4-2, 2-1, 3-1. Into then Liverpool to score 2 goals, send them a ball, so no winning by 2-goal margin. No, the back we bet me see. Into be a MYBET.AFRICA. There's one option of betting that to go to gym. And then games are also in the EPO. The only game I met said there wouldn't be much goals in it. Brentford 2.5. Yes, but then Brentford ne Everton. No, ye kakra because
Brentford should go. Everton should.
Yes, but see Everton, Brentford no. Brentford ebo home on tie and shego mostly no in the last I think 7 games on my bono and who tie chin and Everton under coach friend David Moyes no they score goals, but and then defensively him say I think before game week 15 no now Brentford they one of the best home form in the league, and son I think Newcastle Coco share no the entire form ne better koi, but so Brentford at home still see, and they've been one of the worst teams playing at home. The home games or bono we lose winning na abodro baako against Manchester City. Inti no Everton for call on better from manu ye pa going into a game on him say team ni home form onye. But this fixture no last 5 meetings this season omu share number 0-0. Everton ebo home or share 1-0. Brentford ebo home. The last time Everton kunya goals was 3-1 and a 1-0-1-1. It's a fixture win out of 5 meetings. Bakupe and average at least a 1.5. And into the make us say yeah share into this game goals there. Likely say maybe a call both team to score and a 1.5 and a 2.5 and near share who. But the next one be also Everton to score ebebo. And I think odds for Everton to score very high. And as we also share Everton away from they've been very solid away this season. Okobo draw or Arsenal, or draw or City, or Timiko share Brighton, and or share Crystal Palace. I didn't name say Crystal Palace home form. Very solid. And until I make us say and Nequambia so no team friend Everton. Bet me I should go a handicap of 2 for Everton, so you likely say bet me abo. Until and then maybe all the games on Bebo and then so yes, we'll see a 2.5 happening. Except the Nottingham Forest Arsenal game and Everton any Brentford game. No, the last game I met touch on Copa del Rey game because against Real Sociedad and Real Madrid. I think it will be a good game for Real Sociedad, especially playing against Real Madrid. Real Sociedad has been on a good form. though said their games, sometimes they're on and off. The last time we lose who were home was against Betis. Betis Scotia and Rose way 3-0. But Rose was said that mostly in the last 6 games our bono, a move 5. From minute 1 to minute 25, she go into any game. The first half 0.5, likely say bet me abo. So ocean the home games, our boy this season, we about 5 home games, a winning 5 nina. Into any will be called Real Madrid straight winner. No, I think odds in the crowd 2-4. Odds at Real Madrid. I think today a win or draw for Real Madrid are likely possible. 1.5. I'm not seeing more goals coming into the game. So 1.5 likely, but to be a risky option to pick. Over 2.5 be highly risky because this game average at least goals no more than anytime they are also said that be home no more than 2 goals in this game. Into over 2.5 bear the back say but I think it will be an exciting game. I'm seeing the game ending in a draw. If Real Madrid can come up guns blazing with Mbappe and Vinicius, Real Madrid can get a 1-0, 2-0 in this game.
All right. Yeah, Vincent, you share games now.
Yeah, let's start with an United gamer. List to me and it's going to be an interesting game. United, if they want to play the Champions League, at least from United to the team now over a Conference League, 12 points, and it looks so much and it looks more difficult for Ruben Amorim because this is a coach at least or by an out of 15 games when you're 15 points, so it means that averagely per game when you're 1 point. The games are draw. With some of the wins when you check it points now. 15 points from 15 games are Ruben Amorim now. And see, if United really want any continental, action next season, it means they have to win the FA Cup and I say the Europa League, which also looks 50-50. Depending on the teams that United know, because United are one of the teams that they haven't lost in the Europa League and a FA Cup, and so it looks more difficult looking at some of the teams that also what FA Cup and you see problem number best United are finding it very difficult to score. Used to last season United out of the 38 games on board in the Premier League, just 11 games and United entity and she go as in games are opponents need to keep United clean sheet. United from scoring was 11 games, and this season they have more another game on Manchester. Means that a new club record. The only season United bought gamer why more than 11 games went to me and she go in that regard. Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zexi Ababaye players the United fans bo mechi say any Yapam Rashford, Ama Zexi, and Højlund. Last season, Højlund Premier League. Share 10 goals in the Premier League. And list to this season, from 2025, Joshua Zexi and Rashford Højlund. Omubi and Hawaii. What should go in 2025? These are two strikers leading a big club like Manchester United. And you see, much nearby. The transfer swap dealer United for person money Napoli for and between Brent and the Rasmus Højlund and Victor Osimhen, which means that the report said the conversation and the transfer almost 90% complete. Not much now United so list they are just 2 defeats. Some bit may equally or more telling over 6 they can say they are unbeaten in 8 games against Ipswich. And you see, Ocheki United games so far against Ipswich, they are not doing so well. We are hoping that United and consider defeat against them and the Ipswich. Last season, United born home one year. Especially the teams are modern relegations or they tried as much as possible that whenever they meet this team it's going to be very difficult for Ipswich regarding the history of this match, that the last winner Ipswich Fokonya Old Trafford was somewhere in 1984, coming behind a 2-1 victory and this season what check here, out of 15 games Ruben Amorim loses 7 games at Old Trafford, which is very bad. And this is United the Old Trafford was a slaughterhouse for them. You compare United last 6 games Premier League games to Ipswich last 6 games in the Premier League list, they are without a win. So this is a team called Old Trafford The last time Oko winning was 1984, coming back to win against Ruben Amorim side. In the last 3 games, especially in the Premier League, Onya winning game. We lose 2 and last weekend. And yet VAR mistakes are the referees in the VAR room here. Definitely that penalty in Komojima Aston Villa Everton. It means that United was going to lose 3 consecutive times in the Premier League. Say and no Ababaye Asemoho. In fact, check Ipswich. It looks likely that they will go to relegation. 17 points, and Wolves are 22, and West Ham are 30. In fact, to check the points gap from that 18th and West Ham that 16th. I mean a huge, almost 12 points, and a leader more. And United so 30 points. So United at 15, losing this game or even getting this point will mean so will be very bad for United. So more they might be able to leapfrog Everton and maybe Tottenham Hotspur. That will depend on the game how Tottenham games nyame depend. United are winning crowd ontimi enkon compartment the Crystal Palace on the 12th position. So in this game this too, I think say about United for omu enyan lead in the halftime any of omu last 19 games across all competition this season. Listo. These are some of the fun factor. So what they call MYBET.AFRICA. We team the United for Omunya say be a first half. Na United a lead a be winning first half. In the last 19 games, anya the United for etima across all competition. And last 10 games so Old Trafford. United so enya share more than 2 goals at first half. So in this game, we team Ipswich first half double chance. And obey also list to so yama but let's say Ipswich to win at the first half or a double chance for Ipswich at the first half will mean so much for United team. In as much as United for struggle with injuries, I mean they've been proving that how they were able to come back from that 2-0 down against Everton. I don't see United losing at Old Trafford, especially with the more record with the Delap and Hutchinson. How I mean the Ipswich team, how possessive they are, how they are more present. I don't see say United might be able to stop Ipswich from scoring. So both teams to score highly possible in this game, over 1.5 goals in this game. We should expect a lot of corners in this game. Listo, this is United for 11 corners and I show 11 corners. The last time at United they conceded 11 goals from 11 set pieces and corners was last season conceded. And if Sanso at the corner show more, it means that about be a club record. And with the current especially one of the teams that they score more from set pieces. So you should expect a lot of corners this game. And if United is going to concede in any game now, it should be from a corner or maybe a free kick in this game. So I'll go in for a double chance for Manchester United, over 1.5 goals both teams to score, and over 8.5 corners in that game. Listo. Last week and over the weekend, Arsenal Elusu 1-0 to West Ham. I mean, it was a loser. Now, I mean, coming back from 4-3 scoreline against, Newcastle. People were believing that listen, can never beat Marco their mom. And you see, in recent times, Russia Arsenal for strikers this season, April, they will miss the rest of the season. And Akwakoye Asondia Arsenal, the general transfer window, they decided to say more enter striker. At that time, like I have a 10-year prior, but right now have a temporary. They have an emergency striker in a brand and Marina. And the first time Obo as number 9, Arsenal or share 2 goals, and you see it's going to be very difficult for Arsenal against team Arsenal and anyway, because how they played against Eddie Everton might be so different from how many Nottingham Forest. But this is a Nottingham Forest team at least too. They play so well. They are one of the teams they've been doing well this season, Europa League, Premier League. In fact, as Nottingham Forest for last games on my boy and away at Wasosa, and you look at last 3 games in the Premier League. Away games they went to lose 2-1 to Fulham, they went to lose 4-3 to Newcastle, and especially coming back home will mean so much to them because Ochake the league standings and the point gap now it might be very difficult and the Ombesanso Alusu. I mean the last time Nottingham Forest Elusu were home were way back somewhere in November last year. Molusu home. That was when Timandin Newcastle since then in their last 7 games at home they are unbeaten. Liverpool and Akohamama dropping points, which was that 1-1 draw or more boy. It's going to be very difficult for them. And in fact, Ochake Arsenal so Lewis Kelly in your red card, and that is in over 2 weeks or 3 weeks. When you're red card, he's going to miss that game. Bukayo Saka is out, Gabriel Martinelli, when he can have it, and all these players are more. And you see, it looks surprising that maybe Abrante Raheem Sterling might be able to start as the first 9, and I said trust Adbebo as the first 9, then Raheem Sterling will play from the flanks. It's going to be very difficult for both teams, but I mean in terms of defense, Arsenal statistically they are one of the best teams or more a good start defensively in the Premier League this season. And if they are not able to score, it means that Nottingham Forest might find it very difficult to also score. Nottingham Forest for this season they have one of the best and explosive wingers in the league in terms of Antonio Elanga and Abrante, and so Eddie Callum Hudson-Odoi. With how they attack, especially with the home record at home, I don't see Arsenal winning. Especially playing away from home. It's going to be a difficult game, and the game Udiagra a bit goalless draw in this game because of how Arsenal be defending. Say if they are not scoring, they are not also going to concede, and how Nottingham Forest also I see a full-time draw in this game. But one aspect I will give you a corners, because Arsenal rely on corners more, and see if they are going to play the emergency striker in Abrante and Eddie Mikel Merino, we should expect a lot of corners coming in and also to me about. So that game list I see a double chance for Nottingham Forest and over 8.5 goals in that game. Tottenham Hotspur for Listo or more for me for last 3 games or winning now to us. City without Erling Haaland, so Ababe a disaster. In fact, they played without Haaland against him and Newcastle and and we saw how they lost to Real Madrid, and after that they also came back to lose again. It's going to be an interesting game, but City for twice, while say Tottenham for this season or Manchester City 2 times and Manchester United 2 times, so they are going to Manchester United 3 times. They are going to be the first side in the history of the Premier League team be the 2 Manchester clubs now 3 times in the calendar season, and I say in the season it's going to be very difficult for them. This game a gamer a good game here, but Wednesday host that is Timani, they are the Tottenham Hotspur. They are going to be this is going to be the first timer since October 2023 Postecoglou team Ebabe winning 3 times at us. So they are more constantly 10 consecutive home games ningina ekoi ningina matimi keep clean sheet, and so in their last 4 because so this season watch check here their last 4 games Tottenham Hotspur Sebono Niema and so ekoi and so Edemo in 8 straight matches about Tottenham Hotspur Stadium ningina they are Timani the Tottenham Eshego. So if they are playing at Tottenham Stadium, and there you should expect that Manchester City are going to concede. In terms of more injuries records and Erling Haaland, indeed, if he Obeba is going to be a very different game altogether for Manchester City. But home goals any away goals, and he's going to be a player who has 10 home goals and 10 away goals in 3 straight Premier League seasons, and he will be the second player to Abrante and the Hurricane, and it looks uncertain if Haaland will play or not. He's not going to play, but injury situation for Manchester City in the list it keeps on piling up. Oscar Bob, Manuel Akanji, John Stones, and Kevin De Bruyne. It doesn't look like the coach will start him, and you see you're looking at Tottenham Hotspur prior to this season they suffered a lot of injury blow, but then main goalkeeper Gray Abba, and they've made some inclusions in their defense in Abrante and Eric Kevin down. So Spence so has been having a fantastic fleet of games in the last 5 games at Omabo. Madison, Bentancur, Sar Kulishevsky, and Johnson all started on the last game, you know, and Abrante and the home in son are players that they are capable say or make me up and Manchester City in any other given day. So looking at a table and where Tottenham Hotspur is that and how they want to move forward. No, I see that it's going to be an interesting game for a team and Tottenham Hotspur. Looking at Omo home record this season, especially in the previous games, Omabo also home. Watch check here their last home games are in a list. They are Leicester City, Tottenham Hotspur winning. The last time they lost at home was when Omotin at home at Leicester City. But since then, Omar winning 3 games at Twaso Omkochi United. So Esanso Esho Mobile. And in fact, Oshake Omo games against Manchester City. The last time they played against Manchester City at home, they won against Manchester City. In fact, in their last 10 games since last 5 games at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium since 2021, they are team and Manchester City are winning just 2 times and Tottenham are winning 3 times. So it tells you if Tottenham go home against Manchester City, how they play. This game I see it to be a goalless draw, maybe a 1-1, a 2-2, or a 3-3 draw in this game. You should expect both teams to score in this game. You should expect over 1.5 goals, maybe a lot of corners in this game as well. Blisto, the game of the night will be Liverpool and Liverpool Newcastle. It's going to be an interesting game, especially Liverpool able home. But I see Listo since Iron Slot ever joining Liverpool, well, also just once at the Emirates Sports Stadium, at the Anfield Sports Stadium, and it's going to be very difficult. Say team BT say Newcastle will after almost this season. The last time Liverpool lost was when Nottingham Forest so that upset in the momo Nema and so Antimianko Yomomo. Nema bet Muma adding Edematim and they Newcastle, but the Liverpool for in their last 12 home games on Mabonina listo. Omar winning now by a 2-goal margin. Last 8 out of last 12 games are winning now more winning by a 2-goal margin. Liverpool up against Newcastle. You look at the league log, Liverpool 64 points and they watching almost 12 points and Newcastle 44 points. If they're able to win, it means that I enter into the top 4 into the top 4 position right now. Chelsea the 4th 46, Man City were 44 at the 5th, and at Newcastle so 44 also that 5th. Probability that Man City dropping points and Nottingham Forest dropping points, and Newcastle might take the leader on to beat the 3rd position league log also. And you see it makes the game even more interesting. Looking at how Listo, the last time Newcastle share Liverpool Anfield was way back 1994. Listo 1994 and at Newcastle. Since then Newcastle in Yanko Anfield and share since 1994, apart from winning just 5 draws per 5 points Pen and Newcastle apeke Anfield. It makes the game even more difficult for a team and edit Newcastle. I don't see Newcastle in any way say Ombeko Anfield Akwakoshe. I'll go in for double chance for Liverpool over 1.5 over 2.5 goals in that game and over 8.5 corners in that game. Listo. There will be an interesting game in the Copa del Rey. Atletico Madrid and the Barca 4-4 and a game against Real Sociedad and Real Madrid and the Copa del Rey will mean so much to the Madrid fans. Because looking at how it looks likely that Madrid might be able to enter into the Copa del Rey finals. About the first leg against Team and the Real Sociedad for Listo. Omuye team bia in the first 25 minutes in the last 5 of 6 games. First 25 minutes go. The Japanese Messi is it Takifusa Kubo? The players of Boholo, they've been doing so well. By then, the huge news in say Mbappe Nyakaka he is not going to play a bit as a Fedi Valverde any Thibaut Courtois coach if he say Valverde and Courtois needs they rest, and yes, the subsequent games and here now moments on Aquatia na bisa, so you better rest these two players and Kylian Mbappe and I'm Kakana opportunities into there's so much pain now on to me Embo. But then if Kylian Mbappe is not playing, we should expect players like Ada Güler and Hendrick filling in the host, and even Brahim Diaz filling in this host. I mean, on any other day with the squad depth Madrid war, if Andre Lunin is keeping the post, and even Rudiger, Alaba, and all these players are available, I don't see Real Sociedad for waiting to make Madrid. So I mean, if it's going to be in a game, a movie to my heading Madrid regarding the fact that Timandin the Real Sociedad Ebo Timandin the San Sebastian with my head. Check the last games my boy that venue against Real Sociedad and Real Madrid. Anytime be a Madrid be be an I game just last 5 games San Sebastian just 2 games per Madrid draw they won in 2021. Real Sociedad winning in 2023, Real Madrid winning in 2024, and the last 2 games of Madrid are winning. It's not a fluke, Madrid a bit more. But one thing is, whenever these 2 teams play the last 5 games, both teams to score Embo listo. Since 2021, both teams to score Embo. If Madrid is winning, he's winning by 2-goal margin or a 1-goal margin, mostly over 1.5. And a tie ball in the last 5 games of my bond of 1.5 in a tie ball. So I mean, we might not be able to see both things to go, but looking at the last 5 games, Team and the Real Sociedad that ball in the last games of in Nina or also 80 Eshego. In fact, quite dated to almost the last 8 games of Maboinano. They score goals, and we might see Madrid winning this game, or maybe a double chance for Real Madrid. So I'm going for a double chance for Real Madrid over 1.5 goals and over 2.5 bookings in this game listo.
All right, into games no, and I demo nchimuna to me at the abano na utumi say yes. Nogeland for no omoyi kula so about Caleb Yirenchi. Akwana ball no obon ano team bruta Nogeland for way. Oma backroom has the nyeska chale saka tiasi stati academy ankabana nke yesu enya akora ba kwa yekotwa right iti yebekọ ene ye os no ya yenko ye os na afi ye nsori ewo nkunya so.
Okay, internet the MYBET.AFRICA matches wo nti enye selections kakandra ye feska ewo for ota medemai ni internet nso ye toaso. Liverpool, Newcastle. Liverpool win or draw 1.5 Man United, Ipswich, that game no 1.5. Tottenham, Manchester City over 2.5. RB Leipzig, any Wolfsburg 1.5. Juventus, Empoli. We Coppa Italia, Juventus to win. Real Madrid, Real Sociedad, Real Madrid win or draw. And a Benfica, any Braga 1.5 or into odds no 5 odds. Send the BI the bound. Code no NZTY MYBET.AFRICA.
Okay. Yeah, it's too. The daily choice for the day, I mean, it comes tough games. The first game will be Liverpool Newcastle game. Double chance for Liverpool and over 1.5 goals in that game. Brentford Everton over 1.5 goals in that game. Tottenham Hotspur Manchester City over 2.5 goals in that game. Nottingham Forest Arsenal over 8.5 corners, and RB Leipzig any Wolfsburg game over 1.5 goals in that game. And the last game Real Sociedad Real Madrid double chance for Real Madrid. Code KZTY.
All right. For these are the games. But what they are far kakra to actually na bibia entumi enkoye emfama nti memedia no say enetie memedia say enetie Liverpool ne Newcastle over 2.5. Tottenham ne Manchester City over 2.5. Brentford ne Everton over 1.5. Leipzig and Wolfsburg. Leipzig home win or draw. Juventus ne Empoli. Juventus straight win. I am mostly no early payout and I'm and they are more friendly 2 up no and then I'm straight win direct sir early payout into select here and now who selection and who say eno na ekọ Kilmarnock any Rangers over 1.5 Aalborg BK any Norgeland over 1.5 Krevna Zvezda any FK Zeleniska Pansenvo over 1.5 into restart by grade no 1.5 and Basel any Etoile Courage Basel to qualify and as over 1.5 Basel over 1.5 Benfica and Braga second half 1-3 Benfica and Braga second half 1-3 Real Sociedad and Real Madrid away win or draw and Nottingham Forest and Arsenal Nottingham Forest home goal Nottingham Forest and Arsenal Nottingham Forest home goal odd of 20 hour from my side into no me sambo su bi man Nottingham Forest and Arsenal Nottingham Forest home goal Real Sociedad and Real Madrid away win or draw Benfica and Braga second half 1-3 Etoile Courage FC and Basel FC Basel over 1.5 Grevna Zvezda Ukosebia hona team no other first no omobo over 1.5 Norgeland any Aalborg BK over 1.5 Rangers any Kilmarnock over 1.5 Juventus ne Empoli Juventus home win Leipzig any Wolfsburg Leipzig win or draw Brentford any Everton over 1.5 Tottenham Hotspur any Manchester City over 2.5 Liverpool any Newcastle over 2.5 into this are a year me way yes Ghana Premier League returning on the 7th on the 7th so yes yeah be 1 minute now sorry.
Yes, I think Ghana Premier League returning at the back one dry the home come. I think football, especially fans na omuko ekore matches no oma messi game na che but na ese clubs ni timidi omo na isi fe mehwe se enyama betimi akoyie se ne beboa ma fans ba behwe omo nso ombebo no security ni bibia ho hia enu nti na saade ni sie but ye nenim se nam sometimes ye efa ade bi so na yetimi atoto nyama ye but se bekwa fa obi nkwa so de ya ye nti enu nti na clubs ni bebre hwe se ombetwe mu ko free league no mba bebi edu no omo players omo staffs omo nkofo bebre a enam league ni konsu na omo nso timinya kakra eden edito ombotom nti the league returning there I think is a good thing for the fans for nkofo a omo di ball ni chi se ni Ghana football ni kwa betima ko nenim but ade ba ko ni se a returning on a good note you make sure say FA no be security personnel so be release to league centers ya de ba kwa ese o mani ko ho ye also security checks ne nyama ba ko mienu ese ye make sure say the safety of obibiara oba park ne so ehu hia no ya de ba kwa so mo hwe etoto I think one thing bioma ese FA ni hwe say officiating mostly na ya ansem we na beba ejino officiating ne so into officiating I'm looking at say before league ni be share asem referees commission any FA no any referee senior so mushia edi nkomo say going into game officiating say at least enim say nipa de untimi nya 100% but at least officiating enkoyi eno na ede metiu makao ni nyama bebre no eba into so officiating ni koyi a ebeti sa nyama we na so na me nije na Ghana football edeba no etimi aba eno no bi ahwe so china bi no enye nwa so bi be hye go mpo ha na na menu so FIFA Puskas Awards ni bibi yensu yehu se player bi etimi wo eno na eni ahwe so mo be hwe na officiating nyama koyi referees nenso no otutu nyama ye boa ma o ye den onso etimenya CAF Champions League and CAF we competition bi etime we na mo no odi ko weni ma ne se odi we FIFA competition mu to officiate ni ade ba ko ahia the next thing is security league ne ba so de ye ni agise league ne sa ba so na yetimi enya entertainment foforo a e betimi de agi ni e okurim.
All right,
yeah, Listo, I think that it's quite we are happy that football is back again because most of the teams are still paying their players and at Rencham na eto na Napoli won so attend. We are not saying that because of that MYBET. But we are hoping that the security measures are the two big clubs and the teams the FA should do it. We are hoping that they are doing that thing, and I know that the Ministry of Sports and Recreation for so NSA for they are doing inspection on the venues now about the Ghana Premier League if it's indeed fit meeting the requirement for how you beat in their starting league. So we'll return on the 7th of March, and that is I think after the final burial and I said the funeral of late Napoli, and once Kotoko for the out say they will return to football actions after a year and you see the first leg returning on March 7th to 10th. So Kotoko might be able to play their last game on the 10th. Because all these teams near both games we saw with DMR, we saw House of Hope being eliminated by first division teams and second division teams in the FA Cup. So once information about all these teams are playing. So the match day 20 to match day 22 outstanding games are omobetimi the ayesa nyamani omobetimi abo match day 20 to 22 outstanding games they will play it from I think March 17th to April. You bet me Andrew time near gather all the games against my. So I mean it's good that the game is back, and we are happy that the league is coming back. But we are hoping that the Brahma, who is their prime suspect, at least you bet imagine now Pepe and Bibia other. But I'm saying it here that any other team and player beer obey and how yedi can we want justice for Pauli, we want any fun be obey be at least we should make sure that we will punish those teams. Them kon say support Ebeka ko say be nyama hu say me never find team na day in day out obesan ko kucha 26 30 cities akwa ko match na san nyama no asan akwa. So I'm happy that the league is coming back. Some of us we've been watching the league day in day out, so if it's coming back we are happy, but we are hoping that the securities, the clubs and the FA upon the meetings and idea yesua every poly because of okokofia bonds, we will learn from Sani Manning in our list.
All right, it's a ha and a djumadi in our BC. Yade aya code ne bibia ebegu social media handles we call TikToker sports arena. Saso a Telegram sports arena Telegram. We call TikToker and sports arena. Yes, sports arena. GH, right?
The BCC no TikTok channel no with yenya issue kakra with old one. In say you creating new one. In say we TikTok sports.arena.show. Into with no bit mean access to any videos via din komo except of videos in now where you say followers no if you in dry start create followers ne cost you no you say nyama bit masa anko ye biom.
Okay. Enti nyame adom ochina be saba